Eriksson, and welcome to Scandinavian Echoes, broadcasting from Long Island, New York, premiering on Sunday, September 27th, 2020. Thanks for tuning in to Facebook or YouTube for an hour of Scandinavian music, artists, stories, and photos. This is show number 3 of season number 2, and if you're new to the program, welcome. You can find all past programs from this season and season 1 here on Facebook or YouTube. We have a theme for today's show, and that is that this week normally would have been the annual Norsk Hostfest in Minot, North Dakota, the largest Scandinavian festival in North America. But due to the pandemic, the Hostfest is sadly not taking place this year. Plans are, however, already underway for 2021, and the dates are September 30 through October 2. I personally have been there 10 times, and as mentioned on last week's program, it's not just the Nordic atmosphere with 300 vendors, food including lutefisk, the performing artist, craftsmen, the artisans, and the non-stop entertainment. It's the people. So many friends were made with each experience, and we all became like family, and we still keep in touch, and we visit off-season. The Hostfest has something for everyone, including the kids. Bring the kids, they say. There's education in the schools during the week and a Scandinavian youth camp the week before. There's a real Viking village, 5 large stages. I mean, they are really, really big rooms. A big dance at night, accordions in the hallways all day long, and big-name celebrities starring in the Great Viking Hall that holds 11,000 people with 2 shows daily. There's lots more to tell you, but Scandinavian Echoes is a music show, so let's get on with the music by Hostfest artists, past and present, some we know and some we don't. Opening the Hostfest special music program today of this season 2, show number 3, is Frigg, a fiddle band from Finland that's spelled F-R-I-G-G. They made their debut album in 2002, and they have reached music lovers all over the world. A heavy influence of Nordic roots and energetic bluegrass, their music is known as Nordgrass. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, followed by a song called Nordsken, Tervetuloa. Here is Frigg.
My name is Esko Järvelä and I play with a group called Frigg, and we come from Finland. Many of us has grown up there, and we got to play folk music in very young age already, and we were surrounded by a lot of really good folk musicians. So it was kind of a natural choice for us to start playing folk music. And we got together in Helsinki when we all were studying in Sibelius Academy at the folk music degree. Not all members of Frigg play mainly folk music, so there are also classical musicians in the band. Also, there are many who have been playing rock music. And we combine a lot of different music styles together. Many of us like to listen to bluegrass, so people find a lot of bluegrass nuances in our music. Also Scandinavian, Norwegian, Swedish music, so you can definitely hear a lot of stuff from those countries as well. We've been playing together over 10 years with this group. And we also feel that nowadays folk music is considered to be really melancholy and sad music. People don't really have the right picture of folk music and what it should be. Back at the old days, it's been the only kind of party music we've had. And we try to keep up that party attitude whenever we hit on stage.
Kiitos Palja. That was Frigg from Suomi, Finland. He said they try to keep up the party attitude on stage. Super. You know how you say super in Finnish? Super. A popular Norwegian singer that's performed more than anyone at the Norsk Hostfest is Bjuro Håland. He often performed on the big stage in Oslo Hall, so we would get to chat with him and his wife Liv backstage or outside by our trailers. Always with a fabulous backup band and leaving the ladies in the audience swooning, here's Norway's country gentleman Bjuro Håland, together with Lisa Stokke from a performance on Allsång på gränsen. Minot is pretty far up there in North America, just an hour's drive from the Canadian borderline, so you could say that Hostfest is practically on top of the world. Sing along, everyone. The words are in English. You know this one. Varsågod, Lisa Stokke and Bjuro Håland with Top of the World.
Coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream.
Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. It's clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen.
I'm on the top of the world, down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world.
Telling me that things are not the same. In the leaves of the trees and the touch of the breeze is a place and sense of happiness for me.
There is only one wish on my mind. When the stage through, I hope that I will find that tomorrow will be just the same. All I need will be mine if you are here. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world. I'm on the top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation I can find is the love that I found ever since you've been around. Your love's put me at the top of the world.
Tusen tack, Lisa and Bjuro. Bjuro Håland has also been inducted into the Viking Hall of Fame, an honor bestowed every year upon usually 4 people at a banquet held on Wednesday night of the 4-day Hostfest extravaganza. On the Tuesday before, there's an official welcome gathering called the Governor's Luncheon, and it is there that Randy and I played music as the people arrived. And in the middle of the lunch, the featured performers were the Ringling Five, and they did If Jesus Were a Norwegian. That was the first time we met these wonderful ranchers from Montana. We think the year was 2002. You heard the story before, how we met bumbling through the revolving door of the International Hotel, myself and Larry Lovely of the Ringling Five, he trying to get his guitar through the door, and me trying to get my accordion case through the door, and we got stuck. Still laughing and good friends to this day, Smørges Bandit and the Ringling Five have gotten together off campus in New York, New Jersey, Montana, and Florida. I'd like to feature Don Seifert of the Ringling Five with a very moving song he wrote about his grandpa's barn. All of the music the Ringling Five do are originals or parodies, and it's about the life of a rancher cowboy in Montana, the way life is supposed to be. Not like our crazy, hysterical, fast-paced life in New York, although I kind of like that too. Sit back and listen to the words and the music from Don Seifert about his grandpa's barn.
As Grandpa sat beside the barn, 90 years of living lined his face. He said, Lord, the sights I've seen, and Lord, the dreams I've dreamed, they're all wrapped up in this old place. I built this barn in 1901, first year that I moved on to this place. The trees from down the draw worked that hammer and saw till sweat poured off my face. My life is reflected in the boards of this old barn. It's weathered and it's splintered, but hasn't lost its charm. It stands in quiet solitude through good times and bad. It holds all the dreams I ever had. First time that I kissed your grandma, harvest moon was shining through the door. Her eyes sparkled and they shine, I've seen them a million times. God, if I could see them just once more. Grandkids played up in the hayloft, neighbors came and danced across the floor. Horses in the stall, harness on the wall, batch of kittens sunning around the door. His life is reflected in the boards of this old barn. It's weathered and it's splintered, but hasn't lost its charm. It stands in quiet solitude through good times and bad. It holds all the dreams he ever had. Time can tear a building to the ground. Roads can take a young man far away. It seems like when you're gone, it hasn't been that long. Grandpa passed away in '68. So when you're traveling down a rutted road and some old barn shows up in your mirror, take a moment, look around, even though it's falling down. Someone's dreams were kept in there. Their life is reflected in the boards of that old barn. It's weathered and it's splintered, but hasn't lost its charm. It stands in quiet solitude through good times and bad. It holds all the dreams they ever had. It'll hold all the dreams you'll ever have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Thank you very much. And you know, we send our love to you and Chris and all in the Ringling Five. Ring-a-ding-ding. You're listening to Scandinavian Echoes Music Show number 3 of season number 2 on Facebook or YouTube. If you like this program, we kindly ask that you share it with your friends. And if you're a member of Sons of Norway or the Vasa Order of America, the Danish Brotherhood, the Finlandia Foundation, or an Icelandic club or organization, please mention us in your newsletter or emails. We want to share the love of Scandinavian music with everybody. Of course, if you just like the music, because you just like the music, we thank you very much. If you want to contact us, you can do that at scandechoes@gmail.com or on our Facebook page. Now let's get back to the show. Part of our Hostfest family is the Swedish culture band from Sweden. We met Kjell Andersson, the maestro accordionist, in 1993, the year my father was supposed to perform at Bellspel in Ransäter, but he took ill in Stockholm and couldn't make the trip across to Värmland. So who would have filled the spot where my dad was supposed to play on stage but this tall, long-haired, energetic, bouncy accordionist, Kjell Bella Andersson. He and his band later came to the Walter Eriksson Music Fest at Vasa Park, New Jersey, and the clubhouse there has never been the same. I think the year was 1996. They also performed at Eisenhower Park's Scandinavian night, and then I suggested they come to the Norsk Hostfest, and they did. And the audiences there absolutely loved them. They returned to Minot many times, and that's how we all became family. The Swedish cult band, the Ringling Five, Smörgåsbandet, and a local group called the Korslins. So anyway, here's the Swedish cult band featuring Kjell on accordion, Stig Alex Axelsson on banjo, Göran Andersson on drums, Roger or Roger Lindruth on bass, and a guest guitarist. Swedish cult band. Do your thing. Take down the house with Schreppers Schrottes Holy Hatten.
Hej! Är ni med? Kör vi!
så mycket. SCB, Swedish cult band. We miss you, wild and crazy music guys. And thanks for teaching us, especially Einar, about gammeldansk. Skål! So, at the Hostfest, Besides the non-stop entertainment going on all day in the gigantic airplane hangar-sized rooms called Oslo Hall, Copenhagen Hall, Stockholm, Reykjavik, and Helsinki halls, Hostfest brings in thousands of people by featuring big-name celebrities in their Viking concert hall 2 times a day. Over the years, some of the stars have been Bob Hope, Liza Minnelli, Paul Anka, Engelbert Humperdinck, Chicago, Neil Sedaka, and a long list of popular country music stars like Clint Black, the Oak Ridge Boys, Alabama, Dierks Bentley, and Leanne Rimes. 40-plus years worth of entertainers. This list is impressive and long. Since I'm a Brooklyn girl, and so is Neil Sedaka, let's hear from him. Neil Sedaka has been offering free mini concerts, by the way, every single day on Facebook since the pandemic started. And he's still at it. What a gift he has given the millions of fans that he has made happy not only through the years since the 60s and the 70s, but still now, every day on Facebook. Thank you, Neil Sedaka. Here's an appropriate song about how all of us are getting through this together. Laughter in the Rain. Ladies and gentlemen, Neil Sedaka.
Strolling along country roads with my baby. It starts to rain, it begins to pour. Without an umbrella, we're soaked to the skin. I feel a shiver run up my spine. I feel the warmth of her hand in mine. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, how I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. After a while we run under a tree. I turn to her and she kisses me. Yeah, with the beat of the rain on the leaves, softly she breathes and I close my eyes, sharing our love under starry skies. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, how I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. Jimmy. Sharing our love under starry skies. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. Sing it again. Ooh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Ooh, I love the rainy days and the happy way I feel inside. I'm feeling happy inside. I'm feeling happy
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Neil Sedaka from good old Brooklyn. We got to see him at the Hostfest when he performed there, and it was wonderful to hear him in person with such tunes as Calendar Girl, Happy Birthday, Sweet 16, I'm living right next door to an angel, and breaking up is hard to do. Brooklyn has produced many great talents, and so here's my father, Walter Eriksson, born and raised in Brooklyn, also giving so many people happy times and memories through his devotion to Scandinavian music. He played at the Hostfest in the 80s. Take it away, Dad, with a waltz for the Norwegian sailors. Here is Walter Eriksson's orchestra with Norsk Sailevals. Thank you, Dad. No one could ever sit still when you played. I remember at all the dances how you would just give a vamp and the couples would pop up to the dance floor immediately. Those were the days. The Norsk Hostfest started in 1978 as a Norwegian heritage celebration in the basement of a Lutheran church by Chester Wrighton, a former senator and mayor of Minot, and with a group of friends that shared his interest in celebrating their Nordic heritage. Höst means autumn, so the festival is held at the end of September, early October. It takes place at the North Dakota State Fairgrounds. Someone else that had an awesome father, here's David Wrighton, now the president of the Hostfest, to tell you a little bit how and why it got started, accompanied by some photos of what makes up the extravaganza today called the Norsk Hostfest.
The Hostfest was started almost 40 years ago when my father and some people decided that they wanted to celebrate their Scandinavian heritage. One of the ways it first got going was when my father, in the kind of mid to late 70s, found out about his heritage. He found some letters that had been written to my grandfather probably 80 years before, and they were all written in Norwegian. So my father decided that he wanted to find out about his Norwegian heritage. In fact, he took a trip over there. So he took great interest in it, went over to Norway, found his relatives, and then from that he decided to have a Scandinavian festival to celebrate not only Norwegian, but all of Scandinavia.
If you have not been to the Hostfest, I highly recommend that you visit at least once in your lifetime if you like anything Scandinavian. Direct from Oslo, Norway, a kjempefint guitarist by the name of Tor Erik Falk traveled to Minot, North Dakota many years, first to visit, then to play with the Scandinavian Accordion Club, then Smørgesbåndet, and then on his own on the Touchtone stage, part of Copenhagen Hall. Wayne Söderlund, Ingrid Olsen, and I would run over either before or after our show that was in Oslo Hall or Reykjavik Hall, and we would join Tor Erik on stage for a couple of numbers. I remember us always doing Wonderful Copenhagen, a tune that everyone knows and would sing along to. Then Tor Erik would follow us to our stage, and, well, it was one big happy musical family. This wonderful guitarist, who likes smooth jazz, is here now with a very sexy romantic tune called Wave. Sit back and relax like it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Skål, Tor Erik Falk. Tusen tack, Tor Erik Falk. And thank you so much for listening to every show since we started. You're always there before the show even starts. You're the best. Hope to see you and Elfrid very soon. Ikke glem konjakken. You're listening to Scandinavian Echoes Music Show, and if you tuned in a little late, no worries. You can catch it again right after the show is over, either on Facebook or YouTube. If you want to send the show's link to someone that is not on Facebook, go to YouTube and search for Scandinavian Echoes. There you will find all of Season 1 and also shows from the 80s and the 90s. Click on Share and then click on Copy, and then you will get the link and you can copy and paste it to an email or a message or a text. We hope you will share the show one way or another. We're thrilled to get listeners from all over the USA, Europe, Canada, and even down under. If you have a request or a suggestion, shoot off an email to scandechoes, SCAND, echoes, @gmail.com, or leave a message on Facebook. Thanks for being here. And now back to the show. Hostfest gets pretty crowded during the high point of the day, especially when the big celebrity shows let out and 11,000 people descend into the main hallways that are already filled with people. There's so much to look at, and it's easy to get lost, or if you're not sure which boutique you want to go to or which stage, people tend to either stop right in the middle or at best shuffle along. When you're a performer and you need to get from point A to point B in a matter of minutes, dodging in and out of the happy, shuffling crowd becomes almost a sport. It became the inspiration, in fact, for a tune that Wayne and I wrote called the Hostfest Shuffle Polka. It's a happy tune for a happy place. Here's Smörgås Bandit with the Hostfest Shuffle Polka. Thanks, Mergus Bandit. That's from our last album called En Gång Till, One More Time, with me on my red Dissay accordion, Wayne on his Roland electronic accordion, Chad Widman on drums, and Johnny Söderlund on guitar. Johnny is also our recording and sound engineer. Thank you, boys. All but Johnny have been to the Hostfest, and we hope to get back there, and we're going to take you with us. This program of Scandinavian Echoes is but a glimpse into this big festival. When you go there, spend an extra day so you can visit the Scandinavian Heritage Park, down the road a piece from the fairgrounds. It's a wonderful tribute to Scandinavia featuring life-size monuments and structures, all in a park setting. And it's where the main office is located as well. And they work all year round to coordinate the enormous festival. Take a look at some of the photos from Scandinavian Heritage Park while listening to Norway's most famous classical composer, Edvard Grieg, with Morning Mood. Edvard Grieg and Morning Mood. I hope you liked all the photos. Up in the Dakotas and pretty much anywhere outside of New York City, country music is on the hit parade. Norwegians love country music also, so why not bring over a country band from Norway to play at a Norwegian festival in the USA in the part of the country that loves country music? Direct from Norway, the group is called the Kentucky Riders, and they have been a crowd pleaser for many years at the festival. They were on the same stage as us a few times, so we became friends backstage while coming or going. So here is I Still Like the Nightlife. Bring on the Norwegian Kentucky Riders.
How dare you accuse me of being on the leash just because you haven't seen me on the town the last few weeks? You say that girl I'm seeing has somehow made me change, but I say take a closer look, deep down I'm still the same. Yeah, I still love the nightlife, even though I've settled down. I can have the time of my life without leaving the house. We have our own private parties, the good times never end. Yeah, I still love the nightlife, it's the best it's ever been. There may not be a jukebox, but I still love to dance. We two-step across that kitchen floor each time we get the chance. From neon light to soft white, sawdust to squeaky clean. It's a different circumstances, oh, but some things never change. Yeah, I still love the nightlife, even though I've settled down. I can have the time of my life without leaving the house. We have our own private parties, the good times never end. Yeah, I still love the nightlife, it's the best it's ever been. Yeah. Settle down. I can have the time of my life without leaving the house. We have our own private parties and good times never end. Yeah, I still love the nightlife, it's the best it's ever been. Yeah, I still love the nightlife, it's the best it's ever been.
Whoa, I bet that woke you up. Mange takk, Norsk Cowboys, the Kentucky Riders. Like Scandinavian Echoes, the Hostfest tries to have something for everyone without losing sight of the reason for the festival, to celebrate Scandinavian culture and heritage. And that they do with all the Nordic craft demonstrations, wood carving, roosmaling, weaving, the Viking village, thousands of Scandinavian things to buy, lots of choices to eat, like lefse, Viking on a stick, Norsk waffles, Swedish pancakes, Finnish muujake, that's a stew, Danish ebbelskives, ufta tacos. Well, you get the general idea. You'll find plenty of Nordic music with fiddles, accordions, nyckelharpa, and even a lur, that's spelled L-U-R, a long, natural Viking summoning blowing horn that you can hear from far away, letting everyone know that something special is about to begin. It's been our honor and pleasure to be a part of keeping Scandinavian music alive at the Hostfest, and we hope to go back there very soon. Remembering good times with the Scandinavian Accordion Club of New York, even when we went out to North Dakota just 3 weeks after 9/11 happened, we will never forget how everyone welcomed us so warmly. Here's the sack with a request from Berit and John Peterson of New Jersey, the very Norwegian, the very beloved tango, En liten gylden ring, a little gold ring. Thank you, Scandinavian Accordion Club of New York. Lots of musical memories. Bringing up the rear, no pun intended, is our good friends, the Ringling Five, with what is always their closing number at their shows. I've seen it a few dozen times on stage and have been backstage when they've been preparing, as in getting dressed. You'll know what I mean when you hear and see our favorite Montana cowboys with Norwegian roots, the Ringling Five, or Six, or Seven, or Eight, singing in English to a homespun tune called, be sure to listen to the words now, it's called Pantyhose.
I was planning on riding one cold fall day. My long johns were dirty in the wash that day. So I looked through my wife's drawer and to my surprise, I found a pair of pantyhose just my size. I inched them on, they seemed a little tight, stretched them over my knees and up on my thighs. When I finally got them on and looked in the mirror, I had a lot of bulges and a big tan rear. I wear my pantyhose when I'm riding. They feel so cozy and warm. I wear my pantyhose when I'm riding, and they really help me keep my form. There's just one problem with these pantyhose. They're hard to get down when you really have to go. I wish they would make them with a button-up fly, so I wouldn't be made fun of by the rest of the guys. I wear my pantyhose when I'm riding. They feel so good neath my chaps. I wear my pantyhose when I'm riding. I got a black pair that matches my hat. I wear my pantyhose when I'm riding. They feel so sexy and smooth. I wear my pantyhose when I'm riding. They look better on me than you.
If you want to be the judge of whether those pantyhose look better on the Ringling Five or you, you'll have to come out to the Norsk Hostfest, where they have 2 shows a day to packed audiences. And we send our very best hugs out to Big Sky Country. And we'll see you next June, God willing, and the crick don't rise, when Smorgasbondet joins you in Virginia City, Montana, for the Scandinavian Woodstock Festival. I'll bring a couple of extra pairs of pantyhose with me, plus size, just for the Ringling Five. Well, another hour has flown by, and I guess time flies when you're having fun, and especially when it involves music. Thanks for listening and watching the new Scandinavian Echoes right here on Facebook or YouTube, and I hope you will tune in again. I think I have a few more Hostfest artists to cover and a few requests to follow up on for next week's show. Please contact us at scandaechoes@gmail.com or leave a message on Facebook. Thank you to Wayne and Chad for helping to make this show possible. And thank you out there for all your kind comments and for being here. Be careful and be well out there. Enjoy the beginning of the autumn season, cooler temps, and fall foliage. Unless, of course, you live in Southern California or Florida. Which reminds me, let us know where you are listening from. Here's my father, Walter Eriksson, with Brooklyn Memories, Where It All Began. This is Jeanne Eriksson saying, Hey, så länge.